Welcome to Soon Product Development, where we help brands elevate from start to finish. Last week we reviewed PacSun, we reviewed some of their products, their website, and overall our honest takes on the entire brand as a whole. Today we have a very special brand in my opinion, and that is Elwood Clothing. Elwood is a company based in Los Angeles that focuses right now on selling vintage style minimalistic garments, and everything is crafted in Los Angeles. We have some of their best selling vintage black tees today, and we are going to break down exactly what we think of the product, how much it costs, and do we feel if Elwood Clothing is up to the hype. All right, so here we have their two vintage black tees. I personally opted to buy the bundle of 3 tees, and it costed me $75. And it's actually very interesting. They have a try before you buy option. Personally, I will be keeping these tees, but you'll figure out in the end why I decided to do that versus returning them back. And I'm gonna let Dakota kind of go through this before I do, because I've already wore the product, kind of wore it for a few hours, and I already have my honest opinions on it. But let's see what Dakota feels about this product.
All right, let's get into it.
So obviously, very simple PE style bag. They have Elwood in the front, very simple.
Nothing super special about that. Okay. First look, I do like the color. I think that it's a vintage black, right?
Right.
So it does give that nice kind of gray vintage to it, but it is not a true gray, it's the vintage black. So I think that this is a nice coloration that they displayed there. Hang tags are nice, elegant, you can clip it on. I do like that. I like this idea of a tag, but this is gonna be itchy. Is it itchy?
No, actually, I don't mind it. Yeah.
Okay, so
it's pretty flat.
Not itchy. Personally, I've been wanting one of these tees for actually quite a long time just to try their brand, because like you said, they are pretty popular right now.
They're everywhere on TikTok.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
They've been on my IG for a long time. I love their aesthetic and everything. However, I think when I see this tee in person, maybe the neckline wouldn't be so much my style. They do men's and women's clothes, so they do have like an oversized fit for both lines. So I would be curious to try maybe the women's ones. But first look, I do like the distress. I do like the collar and the idea of it, but maybe it might be just too wide of a neckline for me. Again, this is an XL, so it's not a true take on what my size would be. Feel of it. Honestly, if I had to put this into a word, is like it feels humid. Like it feels like sticky almost.
Right.
Not sticky, but like, I don't know, something about it is very weird, almost like a starchy kind of feel, and it is very thin. Very thin, and honestly, not that special. Daniel's gonna give you the full breakdown of all of the specs and everything. They do have like a nice single stitch top line. Those are really in right now, this vertical
Vertical
stitching.
top stitch, yeah.
So that's nice that they kind of elevated it in that way, but overall, I don't know if I would like the fit of this, because it's not a very heavy garment. It's just not anything special. Maybe the fit of it would be great, like an oversized, it has a slight drop shoulder.
Right.
But honestly, I'm a little disappointed when I see it in person.
So we're gonna start off by saying this is a garment dyed vintage black. They probably went about 4 to 5 shades lighter than a traditional black, 4 to 5 shades up on a traditional dark gray, thus giving this kind of like acid wash type of look. But I feel like they didn't want to achieve that. They wanted to be a little bit different, so they just went with a aged black look, which is what they call a vintage black. What I am a fan of is obviously the frayed hems on the collar. What I would have personally done is I would have frayed every single factor of this, which is the sleeves as well as the hem opening on the actual shirt. Obviously that cost kind of goes up when you have that, right? This product claims to be made 100% in LA. If the fabric is organic to the United States, I do not know. They just claim that they make the product in the US. Fun fact is that 2% of the garments are actually from the US in terms of overall production. Everything else is from overseas. So I think overall, you know, this is a 160 to 180 GSM single knit cotton. I think very feathery, very light, nothing too special. And I think, in my opinion, Personally, this shirt costs anywhere from, if I were to source it overseas, which is my personal choice, it would be anywhere from $4 to $6. But because it is made in the United States, in Los Angeles, I would probably say right around that $8 to $10 mark. But for this tee costing $25 as a bundle, I think that's a pretty fair price. My choice is, personally, this is not a premium garment at all. I have a lot of gripes on this garment and why I feel it is not good. Personally, when I get a shirt like this and it kind of gives me this premium look, which is how they market it, this gives me a Walmart type of vibe. The cotton is very cheap. Again, it's other people's preferences, it's not mine. I'm a fan of a little bit thicker of a cotton, right around that 200 to 220 GSM. I think if you're charging $30 for a tee and you're producing it overseas, you can still get away with the margins and make this product for under $10. Obviously giving you a lot more customization. My thing is also, their strategy behind this obviously is to make this a lot more personable, right? They're trying to target the blanks industry by doing minimalistic, no branding on the outside, and this single woven label that they do, they just stitch it maybe 2 to 3 threads on each side, thus making it very easy to cut. And so if you're trying to make it blank, like LA Apparel or something like that, and try to rebrand, this makes it very easy to do. So I think they're trying to subconsciously target that market, which is great. It's a great thing on their part. But I personally would not buy this garment ever again, even though the price point is at what it is. I just because I've made garments for such a long time, I can tell you that confidently I can still buy a $30 tee and it'd be substantially higher quality than this. And it's just not my preference, to be honest.
What would be your preference of sourcing this overseas versus in the US?
Absolutely, I would definitely source it overseas. And again, just like in the beginning, like I talked about, I would fray all of the hems a little bit more. In the US, they probably charge another $3 to $4 to $5 just to do that. But it's a very simple process, right? You kind of fray it as a bulk product, and it can be very easily done. So all of this can be easily accomplished with a 200 to 220 GSM, fraying all the edges, making it a lot more premium and elevating this product, offering a lot more customization in this piece, and still being able to charge anywhere from that $25 to $30 price point and still make a great margin. So let's head on over and show you guys how it fits on us. All right, so Dakota and I both have on the Elwood tee, and personally, I'm gonna kind of review how I like the fit, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then what I would change. So this is an XL, and it's obviously not true to size, right? On their website, they kind of go for this more cropped, oversized look. So the HPS on an XL is a 27, which is high point shoulder length. And personally, I would have made this the medium as a true oversize, right? When you use the term oversize, typically you would think of it as it is, an oversized shirt, which is essentially like, even the length is a bit bigger than it normally is, but I get where they're kind of going with. If I were to say just the way this fits on me, I think it's perfect aside from the collar. I like a little bit higher up, like almost like a mock neck, rather than being it too loose in a traditional crew. But overall, the fit of this is perfect. And I'm interested to see how much this product will actually shrink, because in my assumption and in my experience, normal cottons, even if it is a pre-shrunk cotton, will shrink about 2 centimeters on all fronts. So the length, the width, the sleeves, the actual body itself, everything will shrink around 2 centimeters. So I think after that, it might fit even a little bit better on me. But what do you think, Dakota?
I'm also wearing an XL because you got a 3-pack.
Yes.
So this is an XL on me, which would honestly be anywhere from, I feel like, an oversized medium to a large. So I am curious to also try this on after it's washed and dried. So just to see kind of how much it actually absorbs and shrinks. I really love, which is so crazy, the length of this shirt. I usually go for things that kind of cover my bicep and your elbow length just a little bit, especially on the initial purchase and buy. That's kind of the things that I look for. Obviously the length on me, being at 5'1", it's an XL. It's more like a large, I feel like, type of vibe on the length on me. But I do love the boxiness of it and the airiness.
Love the boxiness. It flows really well in the shoulders.
Yeah, it flows really well.
Right.
I think on all fronts, it honestly flows really well. So I'm curious to see how the wash and dry will affect that part of it. It definitely feels soft to the touch. And it is super, super light. Even though I don't normally go for that, I feel like the purchase point of this, it was a good buy.
Right, so this single, in my opinion, this is a single knit cotton. It's not a combed cotton, it's just a very simple construction product. And the reason why I'm not returning it is because I actually got it for $25 a piece. So, you know, no complaints there, even though it is kind of like on a cheaper side in my opinion, but for $25, you know, you really can't complain. And just like the other 3 videos, I always talk about my styles and what I go for. This is exactly what I would go for. I would obviously fray all of the edges, and I would probably go with a true black. I think if I went with a true black and all the edges were frayed, just like the collar, this, and obviously with the neck, this would be a perfect tee. Especially for $25, I'd probably buy 20 of these tees.
20 of these tees. Yeah, I would agree. I would change the neckline just a little bit, even though obviously this is an XL, so it's a little bit wider anyways. But thinking in terms of a medium or a large and how it fits you, this being like kind of a large on you, I would take it in just a little bit or do a higher rib neck collar. So
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So there you have it. Our full depth review on the Elwood Clothing most popular tee that has been kind of trending all over social media. We hope you guys enjoyed this review of Elwood Clothing. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let us know what other brands you'd like to see. See you guys next time. Have a good one.